أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. I am Dr Jahun. I decided to give my New Year message to Nigerian youths, not to underrate, neither to de-emphasize our virtues, worthiness, and decency, but to revamp, re-equip, redesign, and refurnish the status of quo, cultures, and image of Nigeria in particular. The youth of today has been widely outclassed. They do not consider themselves to be too young to be pampered, and they are not supposed to be old enough to take responsibility on their own. Majority of youth today are walking aimlessly along the highway and byways of life, like magnetized needles that lies motionless and are not responding to any call of nature to develop skill and specialized knowledge. Because they have not been touched by creative force of nature in the divine structure of human nature, no one is superior to you. But people exercise superiority over others by reason of what they know, what they do, and how they do them. The goal a youth holds in his mind is the model which shapes their lives. Every youth in his or her intellectual embryo is a potential hero if only listening to the call that beckons him to develop him or her. Today, most youth are already out of contention because they are structured in a ways that they have no foundation on which to build their future and their destiny. Where can the youth find his or her future and their destiny? How can he or she find it? Where are the elements that make up the future? Where is the future coming from? Where is now and where it is traveling to? At what speed does the future travel to? There was a quote by a British. It was said by Albert Einstein. No problem can be solved from the same level of consciousness that created it. And when you focus on problems, you will create more problems to yourselves. But rather, when you focus on possibilities, you will get more opportunities. That is, unfortunately, is what we are doing. We focus on more problems. We complain about the problems and challenges. We follow same people who created the problems and eulogize them to high heavens. We are guilty of lack of depth and originality. Our level of thinking is pedestrian. Since no one can rise beyond the level of their thinking, we have remained at the aboriginal state of being, the same with our progenitors. Universities and tertiary institutions shape and mold their products such that they stand out in the originality of their ideas. Our constant thought is only about today, while we don't seem to know that tomorrow is already here. We wallow in the past, while our contemporaries over the world leave us behind. Africa in particular is behind the Western world by almost 250 years. You know what that means. We are relic. We are medium piece. We are stroke in our ways. We are becoming a liability to the entire world, in contrary to what happened recently in Libya, human trafficking. While youth of the same age as us all over the world are innovating, inventing things, all we do is to fight over one politician or the other. We carry placards at the screening of one of the ministers when our brains actually need screening. There is no other country in the world where people love their oppressors like we do. We think we change governments, but all we do is changing one oppressor with another. While the demographics of leadership in the world over is getting younger, ours is getting ancestral. Justin Trudeau, I believe people know him, the Prime Minister of Canada, the Prime Minister of Canada, and Emmanuel Macron of France. They were an example to us. If they were to be a Nigerians, they wouldn't even get a cabinet position. In 1973, Yakubu Gowon was 39 years when he visited Canada. By then, Justin Trudeau was barely 2 years old. Today, Justin Trudeau is the Prime Minister of Canada. The future is here with us while we remain stuck in the past. While others are carrying the destiny of their nations, you are carrying the bags of politicians. While some are solving the problems of their nations, we Nigerians, in particular youths, are the one whom caused the problem for our nation. Does it not bother us that once we are above 40 years, we have lesser years to spend? As you arrive at the departure of launch of your life, should you not be thinking about the future more than the present? For instance, by 2050, Nigeria will hit the population of 1 billion people. 33 years from now on, we are still stuck in subsistence farming. We can't feed 170 million people now. So how can we feed 1 billion people? We can't provide housing for 170 million people. How can we provide housing for 1 billion people? While the rest of humanity is trying to land on Mars with over 200,000 people buying the application or buying for the slots, we still find it difficult to run an airline. Europeans will swipe their smartphones, watches to pay for most goods and services, use phones as digital wallets, use them to borrow money, invest it and transfer it to other countries, while we are still stuck with brick and mortar. Mercedes-Benz, that popular car company, is developing a system that will learn your schedule, test your moods after a short while. For example, it knows that you leave the house every weekend or weekday at 7:30 to take your kids to school at the right temperature you always want in your car. Based on GPS and satellite data, it quickly learns your prepared routes, detect any hazardous thing that may occur, detect traffic, so that it can suggest you a fastest way that you will reach to your destination. FM channel will tell you drop your kids. I wonder, or I don't know, when all this will happen in my own country. In America, cars and trucks were equipped with one device called vehicle-to-vehicle device. This device emits beeps when they detect potential hazards, such as another vehicle entering intersection, or a pedestrian, a patch of ice, or even when the driver is speeding too fast. This reduce crashes, road traffic accident in America for about 76%. All we do here is erecting speed bombers. some we call it as in Hausa we call it kabarin metasine or jakin babangida. We always arriving very late. I don't know why. Why I'm so concerned about ourselves is for the interest of our nation. Shouldn't my worries be directed at our dealers, erroneously called leaders? It is because the destiny of this nation lies in our hands, and we know not. A nation is hopeless as it's used. A nation is as helpless as it used, and a nation is creative as it uses. A nation is clueless as it uses. A nation is energetic as it uses. The strength of a nation lies in the promise of its use. The greatness of a nation lies in the potential of its use. A nation destiny is then essentially that charted by the young population. Whatever a nation would be, look no further than the youth. I look at ourselves, and I am afraid of Nigeria, and I am afraid for Nigeria. We are mass production from the factory of ignorance. We are victims of a dysfunctional society. We are like Nabal, of whom it was described that Polly is with him. All you know is how to wear designer, from Gucci to Prada, from Versace to Armani. Of course, we are obviously well dressed, but you know what? We are dressful. We refuse to dance to the beat of the future, rather preparing to wallow in the shallowness of the past. Wole Soyinka, if I can remember, described his generation as a wasted generation. Will you be wasted also? Arise, arise, arise. It is time to pause our way to relevance. It is time to take responsibility for the future, because the future will not be inherited, it will be earned. Stop playing the blame game. Stop blaming our circumstances, because we can rise in spite of them. Stop blaming our ancestors, because they bequeathed a legacy of diversity amongst ourselves. Organize rather than agonize. Don't just think outside the box. Throw away the box. You have the numbers. Use them to pose a real change. As we ask questions, go further by seeking the answers. Rather be the answer. As we talk about challenges, go further by seeking solutions. Rather be the solutions. I will commend some of the vibrant and eloquent youth in Nigeria for striving their best to see brighter and greater Nigeria. You guys are leaders Nigeria want to see. For example, I will cite an example. Go My Way, say ride sharing services started by Damola Teldi. Hotels NG was started by Mark Asian and has over 600 hotels on its portals. Mark is solving the hospitality problem. Prep Class is an app by Olomide Ogulana aimed at helping students prepare for exam. The app assists you in identifying your weak point apart from the core of functionality of preparation for exams. Jobaman, one of the top jobs website in Nigeria, was started by the trio of Opayemi Aoemi, Ayodeji Adeomi, and Olekin Olude in 2009 during the famed ASU strike. I'm sure I remember that strike. Jobaman is tackling the employment challenge. What problems are you solving? Stop merely existing. It's time to start living. Let your life be a contribution to humanity and not a contamination to humanity. The future is already here with us. In conclusion, my advice to us, we Nigerian youths, is that the biggest mistake that we can make is to believe that we are working for somebody else. Job security is gone. The driving force of a career must come from the individual. Remember, jobs are owned by the company. You own your career. Likewise, we want to own our nation. Nigerians youth are talented, gifted, skillful, accomplished, adroit, withered, proficient, and dexterous enough. I believe we can do it. As we enter 2018 today, may Almighty Allah sharpen our mindset with good deeds, remove any corrupt scheme within our hearts, rearrange our plans to be in a better way, organize us in a path of victory, remove political, ethnical, zonal, tribal stigmatization from us. Happy New Year, Happy New Year, Happy New Year. 2018 will be a year of success by the will of Almighty God. Long live Nigerian youth, long live Federal and United Republic of Nigeria. I remain Hafiz Dr Jahun. Thank you.